let's solve this question on time and speed, and it involves linear motion. A passenger train travels at 25 kilometers per hour, and it is moving in the same direction as the lorry, traveling at 30 kilometers per hour. The railway line runs parallel to the road, and the lorry takes 1.5 minutes to overtake the train completely. Given that the lorry is 5 meters long, determine the length of the train in meters. Let's go to the solution. So we have the passenger train. So just illustrate it here. So this is the train. It is moving in that direction, and the speed is 25 kilometers per hour. It is moving in the same direction as the lorry. So we have the lorry here, and the lorry is moving in the same direction, and the speed of the lorry is 30 kilometers per hour. And then there's another information here that is going to help us. The lorry takes 1.5 minutes to overtake the train completely. So this lorry takes 1.5 minutes to overtake the train completely. So when you look at these values given here, we have kilometers per hour, and we have minutes. So you have to decide to use uniform units of measurement. I will decide to use meters per second. So the first thing I need to get is the distance moved by the lorry in these 1.5 minutes. Remember that 1.5 minutes, if I convert that one, because I want to use meters per second, 1.5 minutes will be the same as 60 seconds plus 30 seconds. This is equivalent to 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. So we need to get the distance by the lorry in 90 seconds, because that is the time taken by the lorry to overtake the train. So how am I going to get this? Distance will be given by speed times time. So I already have time in these 90 seconds. So I need to get the speed. I am going to use relative speed. We have two bodies, that is the train and the lorry. We are given two speeds. And so when you're working out this distance, we're going to use the relative speed. So how do we get relative speed? Since they are moving in the same direction, get RS or relative speed, we shall subtract 30 kilometers per hour, subtract 25 kilometers per hour, and this will give 5 kilometers per hour. So I will convert 5 kilometers per hour to meters per second. There are several ways of converting these, but the easiest one is you simply take 5 kilometers per hour and multiply it by 5 divided by 18. This method works for every time you want to convert kilometers per hour to meters per second. And these, when you work it out using a calculator, you get it as 1 and 7/18 meters per second, which you can also write it as 25/18 meters per second. So therefore we have the time and we have the speed. So we can get the distance traveled by the lorry in 90 seconds. That will be speed, which is 25 divided by 18 meters per second, times time, which is 90 seconds. When you multiply that, you get 125 meters. So that is the distance by the lorry. Now from this now, given that the lorry is 5 meters, so I can draw it here again. So we have the train, this is the length of the train, then the lorry After overtaking, it was able to move from this point to this point. After overtaking the train, he overtook the train at this point, moved 125 meters. And then the length of this train, no, the length of the lorry is given as 5 meters. So since this is where the point of overtaking, from this point of overtaking to the last one, this will be the length. This will be the length of the lorry, which is 5 meters. And so this length from this point to this point will be the same from this point to this point, which will be the length of train. So we simply need to take 125, subtract the length of the lorry, which will be 120 meters, and this will be the length of the train. So 120 meters. It's the same here, 120 meters, and this one is 5. So that is how you're supposed to get the length of the train.